Hi folks, this is Ernie and Hi. Once again, we invite you to join us for an exotic journey to this fascinating island nation of Iceland, rich in Viking history for those who are history buff, and also for nature lovers to experience the unique natural beauty and a spectacular diverse landscape shaped by the contrasting effect between subterranean heat and cold, as glaciers sit on top of many volcanoes. As a result, several geothermal heated natural pools have developed into extraordinary nature bath resorts, such as the popular Blue Lagoon. The landscape and scenery is just stunning, with many tumbling waterfalls, shooting geysers, icebergs, whale watching, and many others. So let's go! I made an animated map to show the places we are going to explore. We are taking what is called the Ring Road or Route 1 National Road, which goes around the country in a circle for a total of 828 miles or 1,332 kilometers. We start at Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland, then end up at the Westman Island archipelago, just at the southern coast of Iceland. Reykjavik is the capital of Iceland. It is a nice and lively walking city with the distinction of being the world's northernmost city of a sovereign state. It is believed to be the first settlement of the early Vikings in the 9th century. It got world attention in 1972 with the World Chess Championship between Boris Spassky of Russia and Bobby Fischer of the USA, dubbed as the match of the century. And again in October 1986 with the summit meeting of President Ronald Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev to end the Cold War. Then it got world attention again when the Eyjafjallajökull volcano erupted in April of 2010, which halted air traffic in Europe for several weeks, grounding thousands of travelers worldwide.
Fuglar ýmisleika listir sínar og liljur vallarins og fræin sem að lögðu mold, þau feðra og prýða smátt og smátt, velta breytta jörðina okkar.
or the Pearl is a prominent landmark in Reykjavik, situated on top of the Osculid Hill overlooking the city. It is a museum, planetarium, exhibit hall, and observation deck. At the top floor is an immense mirror glass dome and observation deck that gives you an awesome 360 view of the city. The Blue Lagoon is like an oasis in the middle of a black lava field. The temperature is 102 Fahrenheit all year round. It has a milky blue color because of dissolved minerals in algae that has some benefit for certain skin disorders such as psoriasis. The Blue Lagoon has become immensely popular since it has been featured in the National Geographic magazine as one of the 25 wonders of the world. Now let us drive northwest to the Snæfellsnes Peninsula, 60 miles north of Reykjavik. This 90-kilometer long peninsula have a diverse and dramatic landscape. Our first stop is at the Gerdubird's Cliff, a massive wall of basalt columns 14 meters high and 1 meters wide, with impressive geometric patterns like a man-made wall but is of volcanic origin. The Arnarstapi fishing village was once an important trading port in the 18th century with a large community, but now just a vacation place with summer houses. It is a beautiful village that on summertime it is teeming with people and birds nestling at the treacherous cliff. The coastline of Arnarstapi is dotted with beautiful basalt pillars such as the Gatklittur Arch Rock or Hall Rock. Basalt columns reach inside the cave. The rock formations are ultimate artwork of nature. These Londrangar basalt cliffs are remains of craters which eroded to its present form. It looks like an enormous castle that emerges from the sea, a pair of volcanic lava pinnacles that stick out from the sea. The biggest one is 75 meters high and the shorter one is 65 meters high. Seabirds such as puffins, fulmars, gulls, kittiwakes and others settle on this cliff to make their nest during the summer. Glani Waterfalls. This is the first of a series we are visiting along the Ring Road. This place is noted for its great salmon fishing. In summer, you can see salmons jumping upstream. This small black church and graveyard was built in 1848 in the small hamlet of Bodir in the Boderon lava field. Djupalonsandur and Dritvik beaches, a unique site of unusual rock and cliff formation of raw beauty with black sand pebble beach. You have to hike through craggy headland to reach the black sand beaches. It used to be a large fishing port from the 19th to the 16th century, but now an abandoned fishing village. Saxel volcano crater is a classic volcano crater where you walk up a metal stair path on the slopes up to the top and rim of the crater. It is a spectacular 360 view of the surrounding dried lava field and valley of Snæfellsnes National Park. It is a 100-meter high stratovolcano. The metal stairway to the top has been dubbed a stairway to heaven to the gateway of burning flames of hell. The crater, of course. In short, it is a stairway to heaven and hell. Now let us continue driving north and visit the Kologlyfor Gorge and Canyon that contains a waterfall called Kolufusar. It is a 1 kilometer long and 60 meters wide. The gorge contains the Vidadalsa River, renowned for its salmon. The canyon is 1 kilometer long and 25 meters deep. Akureyri is the northernmost city of Iceland, so that it has been dubbed capital of North Iceland. It is an important port and fishing center. It is one of the oldest cities as it has been settled since the 9th century. Population is now 18,488 as of 2017. Akureyri is noted for its good harbor, which is an ice-free port and have a fertile land with productive agriculture. Agricultural products became an important sector of the economy. Fishing is a major industry, and Akureyri has 2 of the 5 major fishing companies in Iceland. Húsavík is another town located in the north coast of Iceland. It is well known as the whale capital of Iceland, where whale is spotted 98% of all whale watching trip. It is also the site of the first house built in Iceland in 860 AD by a Swedish Viking. It is a small town with a population of less than 2,400.
anything that can harm these animals. Because of course, I don't know if you've heard about the dolphin.
Just south of Akureyri and Husavik is the waterfalls Godafoss. It is one of the spectacular many waterfalls of Iceland, with its very elegant horseshoe-shaped waterfalls. Godafoss means waterfalls of the gods. Legend has it that in the year 1000, that when Christianity was adopted as the official religion in Iceland, the local leader Thorgir threw all his Norse statues of pagan gods into the falls, hence the name Waterfalls of the Gods, or Godafoss. The river Sjalfandilot drops from a height of 12 meters, and the horseshoe-shaped waterfalls is elegantly divided in the middle by a big rock separating the flow in the middle, creating a blue-green swirling patterns in the water below among the surrounding lava. The Mývatn Lake area in North Iceland is a geological wonderland shaped by a volcanic eruption from thousands of years ago. I have drawn here an animated road map to show the amazing geologic features around the vicinity of the lake. The first are the unusual pseudo-craters. Pseudo-craters are located at the Skotusta Dagigar area, where one can see rows of pseudo-craters. This unique geological phenomenon are formed by gas explosions when the hot melting lava flows over wetlands or pockets of water, such as this Stakostion pond we are seeing here. Divjaborgir rock formations, also called the Dark Fortress. These are dramatic lava rock formations resembling castles or towers or ridges that rise like battlement and caves deep into the earth. Now let us go to the Namafjall Esverir geothermal field, located just 5 kilometers from Mývatn Lake area and at the foot of the Namafjall mountain volcano. It is an expanse of clay-colored wasteland with hot springs, boiling mud pools, mud pots, bubbling pools of sulfur mud, continuously steaming fumaroles like chimneys, solfataras like shallow volcano craters which emits jets of steam with sulfurous fumes and air rushing out of the soil like boiling kettles. This feels like walking on the moon or some strange planet with pungent sulfuric smell. Almost every type of volcano exists in Iceland. I've shown here a map where the 35 active volcanoes are located. Now let us take a break and soothe our body with refreshing nature bath at the Maivatin Hot Spring and Spa. After a refreshing bath, let us continue our journey and visit some interesting waterfalls like Ryokanda Falls, fed by the East Ryokanda River coming from the Sandfell Mountain. We are now entering the northeast region of the Ring Road. If you recall, the Ring Road is 828 miles around the country. We have now traveled halfway the circle of the Ring Road, as you can see from this animated road map. So let us now start traveling south and visit more waterfalls, some coastal towns and interesting villages along the way. Fossar Falls is the last waterfalls in the Fossar Dalor Valley before Fossar River ends in the Atlantic Ocean. The water drops from the mountain, resulting in a beautiful cascading waterfall that crosses 49 feet into a gorge carved into a layered basalt. We are now here on the eastern coast of Iceland. We are stopping here at Djúpivogur, a charming coastal village located in the peninsula off the eastern coast of Iceland at the mouth of the Berufjordur Fjord. It has been a fishing and trading port for 4 centuries, since 1589. Djúpivogur is also home to an offbeat outdoor art sculpture by Sigurdur Gudmundsson, a local and international renowned visual artist. He carved 34 Chinese granite eggs to line the town harbor. Puffin, the lobster capital of Iceland, on the southeast coast of Iceland at the foot of Vatnajökull Glacier Volcano Mountain National Park. The town is known for its fishing charm with an incredible lobster restaurant. Hofen means harbor, and it is a fishing town. It is a major fish processing and packaging factory. Yukisarlon means Glacier River Lagoon. It is a large glacier lake in southeast Iceland at the edge of Vatnajökull Glacier Mountain National Park. The surface area is about 7 square miles and about 1 mile long and 814 feet deep. The glacier lagoon is filled with icebergs. This fairy tale building still acts as a parish church dedicated to Saint Clement. This is the last turf church built in the old architectural style. Vik is surrounded by impressive mountains and volcanic black sand beach. The cliffs west of the beach are home to many seabirds. Dyrhólaey is a small peninsula or a promontory on the south coast of Iceland next to Vik. It was formerly an island of volcanic origin. It is a sanctuary for seabirds.
But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight.
Skogafoss is one of the biggest waterfalls in Iceland, located 3 miles from the Skogar village of South Iceland. This waterfall is unique because it comes directly from 2 glaciers, the Mýrdalsjökull and Eyjafjallajökull, which erupted in April of 2010. The waterfall drop is 62 meters high and 25 meters wide. Seljalandsfoss is part of the Seljaland River that cascades over the steep cliff to a 200 feet drop. It originates from the Eyjafjallajökull glacier volcano, which erupted in April of 2010. The attraction to this falls is that you can walk behind it. The falls is located in the southern coast of Iceland, 75 miles from Reykjavik. Gullfoss is an iconic waterfall located in the canyon of the Vita River in southwest Iceland, 70 miles from Reykjavik. It is famed for its scale and beauty. That is why it is called the Golden Falls. It is a two-tiered waterfalls 105 feet high with two drops. It has been named as one of the top 10 waterfalls in the world. As shown in this map are the waterfalls we visited along the ring road. Thingvellir National Park is listed in the UNESCO World Heritage Site for two reasons. Number one, it has a historical and cultural significance. Number two, it has an interesting geological formation. The park is tied with the history of Iceland and also being the first parliament being formed in the world. It existed from 930 AD to 1798, that is 8 centuries. Geologically, the park is the site of the Mid-Atlantic Rift. So this place is actually a rift valley between the North American tectonic plate and Eurasian tectonic plate. This mid-Atlantic rift runs through Iceland from south to north, dividing the country in half. This is the only place in the world where the rift is above sea level. Walking through the path in the park is like walking between two continents. The large path shown here is the Almanaya Gorge, which is the largest fault line. The rift is separating 2.5 centimeters per year. Fredheimer Geothermal Tomato and Horse Farm. This farm existed since the 1940s. Here we will get an insight into the greenhouse horticulture and use of geothermal heat. Tomatoes are fresh all year round. Mr. Arman will explain.
The farmer living here with my family, growing tomatoes in our greenhouses, and then we are breeding horses. First we were thinking about to introduce you to the Icelandic horse, and after that you're gonna go to the greenhouses and getting some knowledge how it's possible to be growing and picking tomatoes.
The horse is a favorite among Icelanders and can be seen in art and literature all through Iceland's history. It has been purebred for 1,000 years. It is the most colorful breed in the world, with over 40 different colors and over 100 variations. It is strong and enthusiastic, forward-going and docile. It is truly a horse for everyone, with generations of people enjoying it together. Okay, the pace is very impressive, and we will end our demonstration with a few pace sprints. The Icelandic horse.
So there you are. You have just seen a demonstration of the gallop, the trot, the walk, and the canter gait of the horses. Now let us sit down in the greenhouse cafe and savor the famous tomato soup with freshly baked bread while surrounded by tomato plants all over.
The greenhouse.
Geyser. Okay, more.
Water.
That's bigger and egg-shaped. And of course, the tomatoes that you see around you, they are the core tomatoes, the regular ones. By the way, did you like tasting? Yeah? Okay, I'm glad to hear that. So we harvest about 1 ton of tomatoes every day of the year.
Iceland is covered by ice, glaciers, and geysers, and have at least 30 active volcanoes, and so it's calling the land of fire and ice. When the temperature under the earth rises above the boiling point and pressured steam is generated, this hot spring will erupt, and you will hear a popping and hissing sound under your feet. Then suddenly, large amount of boiling water is propelled hundreds of feet into the air, and you have a geyser. Take a look. Westman Island is a volcanic archipelago of 15 islands. Only the biggest Jaime Island is inhabited with about 4,000 population. Jaime is an important fishing port of Iceland, processing 15% of its export, the third largest in Iceland. Jaime is 4 nautical miles from the southern coast of Iceland, or about 10 kilometers from the nearest spot on the mainland. Here.
Now guys, this is
Puffins are adorable but clumsy little birds. They spend so much effort in flying, flapping their wings vigorously, and therefore tire easily. They don't glide like the other seabirds that utilize the wind in their flight. Then they land clumsily, tumbling down the grass. But they are excellent swimmers and spend most of their time in the water, riding the waves. My puffin is flapping his wings, signaling that it is time to go. So we hope that you enjoy this amazing journey to this fascinating island nation of diverse natural beauty and landscape of volcanoes, glaciers, hot springs, geysers, waterfalls, and whales. This land of the Vikings could certainly be called the land of fire and ice.